I know Mike's answer, so I'll ask Mike last. Or I think it doesn't matter. But Dom, do you have a favorite Prince song?
Yes, and well, I have a favorite. I don't know, actually. Musicology is probably my favorite Prince album, and I feel like nobody really likes it, so.
I'll have to listen to it tomorrow. Is your favorite song off of that then too?
That's why I was like refraining from saying it, because it's like a series of songs, so I'm more just like the album, I guess. I don't know. I don't know that I could like pinpoint a favorite song, but
Okay.
Yes.
Todd, what are your thoughts on Prince? I feel like I don't know where Todd lands on Prince. I feel like we might get a wild take right here.
If you want, I'll say my favorite song after, but like I don't think it's a very popular favorite song.
That's fine.
But my favorite song is probably "Want to Be Your Lover," and my real favorite song that has personal like from like when I was a kid and like back in the day was "7," which I don't even know if people like that song, but it was a big deal to me back in the day. Like that song, like everyone was like obsessed with that song. I would think I was in like 6th or 7th grade, maybe. Possibly.
Oh, that's
when that song came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 came out when Todd was in 7th grade. That's why it's so meaningful to him.
We were all like, "Whoa,
whoa, 7."
It's a good. I mean, it is a good song.
Mike, are you sticking with yours you said last night, or do you have something else to say, or are you sticking with that?
I'd probably stick with it.
Okay.
What's your song, Mike?
I went with 1999 just because like I also like numbers.
He's a big.
You were in 99th grade. The song.
Bang.
Yeah.
He was a big Y2K guy, so he was like, "Fuck, man,
yeah.
this bug's gonna get us."
This is the anthem for Y2K.
I think as of right now, for me, it's "When Doves Cry." It's that beat is so good. Like it's a banger. It's so good. I listened to it like fucking 10 times
super hot
today.
take. The Batman soundtrack is like a fucking phenomenal
Batman soundtrack is pretty good.
It does.
Did he do the whole soundtrack?
Whole soundtrack.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Oh,
Listen to it, you'll like it.
I'm changing my answer. My answer is Party Man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Fuck yes, it's so good.
So Mike and I have been going to a Prince themed bar often now, and this has kind of ignited this like, I should do a deeper dive on Prince. Like I know Prince's hits, but I'm gonna get a little deeper. I'm gonna go into the mix.
Have you seen Purple Rain? You said that
yes. So I've definitely seen clips of Purple Rain. I don't think I've ever watched Purple Rain. Jen loves Prince. Like Jen, yes. Prince might be, if Prince isn't Jen's favorite artist, it's like number 2 or 3. Like it's a top 3 scenario, but it might be number 1. Jen, is Prince your favorite artist? One of them. So she may have made me watch Purple Rain at some point, but I don't think that has happened. But when we were at the bar last night, they were playing Purple Rain. They don't always play like Prince on the TVs. They usually just have movies from the era. Like the first time that Mike went with us, it was Back to the Future. Last time after that, it was like what's the fucking Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing?
Okay.
You said that very violently, much more violently than it was said in the movie.
That's how I remember it.
I'm changing my pick to Dirty Dancing.
Oh yeah, Karate Kid was on at one point. Mike's never seen Dirty Dancing, except for the short part we watched at the bar.
It's like one of
but
the best
Purple Rain was
soundtracks
on last night.
So when you said I'm gonna pick Purple Rain and I followed it up with then I'm gonna pick Under the Cherry Moon, did you know that Prince is in a second feature film?
I did not, but I'm down with that double feature if that's what you want to do.
I don't know that Under the Cherry Moon is like available everywhere.
Like Purple Rain is like not a great movie from what we watched, but it was interesting.
It's fine.
Yeah, and it's funny because
it is available to buy on Apple.
I only knew. Or not, I wouldn't say I only knew, but my first, and I said this to Jenny because she got so mad last night. I was like, does it make you mad that I knew what Apollonia was first because of Stronger? Because I looked it up or Dom explained, like, when Prince was on Apollonia, when OJ was Isotone, like, whatever. Like, that, I was like, I don't know what the fuck Apollonia is. I'm pretty sure Dom
only knew about Purple Rain because of Chappelle's Show.
No, I knew who Prince was before that, as well as Purple Rain. But I only know who Prince is through New Girl. That's the only way I know Prince. But
he did star in New Girl.
Jen said that the way that episode came to fruition was Prince reached out to them and said, "I like the show. I want to be on an episode. The episode's going to be I'm throwing a party and you're all coming to it." That's the most ridiculous, also kind of baller thing ever.
There's crazy stories about Prince, like super, like way crazier than the Dave Chappelle pancakes thing. Like, I think there's a Kevin Smith story where I watched recently where Kevin Smith made a documentary of one of Prince's concerts that will never see the light of day, and like the whole time Kevin Smith was talking to him, it took like 8 different calls from 8 different people. And then he finally got through to Prince, and he said one swear word, and Prince is like, "Do you believe?" He started talking about like how you shouldn't be swearing and like all this other shit. He did this whole thing of a documentary for like a month with Prince, and he basically said it's never going to see the light of day. He wouldn't let me do it.
Well,
everything's locked away. Everything
I don't know when.
I was just gonna say he has like tons of music that like it was his dying wish. He did this way before because his death was unexpected. That like. No one's ever going to get this stuff. Like it's never going to see the light of day.
His family has access to the vault.
It'll never see the light of day. And I'm sure there's probably some great stuff in there. And Prince also after his death, more people started respecting his like guitar work. Like he's like known as like one of the best guitar players. I feel like I heard that before, and I said to Mike last night, I was like, do people look at Prince and be like, Prince is a really good guitar player? Yeah.
And
because he did My Guitar Gently Weeps with like Tom Petty, everyone else on stage, and like literally it's known as one of the greatest things ever because he just fucking outclassed everyone up there.
Weird deep cut, and maybe it's not in reference to that. I'm pretty sure in our high school yearbook, Dom's thing says My Guitar Gently Weeps, but I thought that was a Beatles thing.
It is. No, he covered that.
He covered a Beatles song. Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
With like George
it was a remembrance for George Harrison.
Yeah, it was remembrance.
Okay.
But everyone was up there, like all the classic rock guys, and then you got Prince, who fucking stole the show.
It was George Harrison's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by himself, I think.
Okay. Prince's Super Bowl performance is also a fucking classic. It's like raining, like it's fucking real good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. Prince is
Prince is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I don't want to continue to divulge down this path, but there were some other shenanigans that happened last night involving like, you know, other Prince conversations, like our text messages, Mike, and stuff. Like just we don't need to go down that road. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
How's the crowd there?
I mean,
does it fill up?
I mean, that's up to you, Mike. That's your story to tell, not mine.
I mean, it's not that exciting a story. It's just that I knew growing up, I listened to a lot of Michael Jackson in the house, but I also knew that there was some Prince stuff around the house, whether it be Purple Rain on cassette or on VHS, but also Prince albums on cassette. So I was like, I don't remember how my mom actually felt about Prince as a performer. So I decided to text her. I say, hey, what are your thoughts on Prince the singer? And she goes, why? What happened to him? I was like, wait, what?
Wait, you texted her last night?
Last night, yeah. No, no, Dom, you don't understand.
How's Michael Jackson gonna take it?
You don't understand, Dom. Once we get like half a Mai Tai in over there, it's over. We're so over. It's like
she goes, why? Did he die? And I was like, yes. Like 8 years ago.
At least 10 years ago.
It was fun. It was a good time. I texted my mom the same question, and it was not the same response, but also equally embarrassing, and I'm not going to talk about it. So, how do we all feel about Eddie Money, though?
Money Man. How's he doing these days?
There's no way.
Wait, why are you bringing up Eddie Money?
He's dead. That's why. That's why I said that.
I figured when Dom said that he was, but I was like, I'm not going to just say this guy's dead.
He died a couple years ago.
No, so when Mike came with us to my parents' house for 4th of July because they were cooking out whatever, and the radio was on while we're all in the yard, whatever, and a popular Eddie Money song came on, probably like one that if you came on, you'd be like, you know that song. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Tonight?
Oh yeah, maybe it was that.
Paradise.
Yeah, it was probably
yeah.
Tickets to Paradise. And in like a snap of a finger, my mom got so mad that like she's like, this isn't even the best Eddie Money. Like someone said, I don't even know how the conversation stopped, but she got so mad that like that was.
You're a big money man.
Apparently, she's big fucking money man. I don't know.
I mean, that's a big '80s guy. Like he's like,
But
like you know, like '80s, '90s. Like,
do you remember how the conversation started, Mike? Like why my mom even like fucking.
I think whatever song had come on, one of us, probably you, had said like, "Oh, is this like his best song or like his most popular song?" And then your mom was like, "Absolutely not."
Let me tell you something.
Oh, okay. So Jen's the catalyst here. She just walked out to tell me I was the reason she got mad because when it came on, I clearly said, this has got to be his best song, right? And my mom was like, no, it's fucking Shaken, and like went on this whole thing for Shaken. Anyways, Money Man. Welcome, everyone, to the Pest Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about the Money Man and Prince. Too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Grimm, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
How good was Eddie Money on the guitar? Would you say is like...
I don't know if he's in the top rock or if he can play guitar, to be honest. But who knows? Maybe he can. Maybe he's just sick with the digits, Mike. I don't know. Is that what they say? Also joining us, of course, is the Fortnite father, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing?
Good.
Cool. Okay. What's your favorite Eddie Money song, Todd?
Oh, take me home tonight.
And rounding us out, of course, is...
can I do my pick to that movie, Take Me Home Tonight?
Sure. Rounding us out tonight, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
We got a nice, short and sweet episode for you tonight. I'm gonna review Yars Rising, which is coming out this week, September 10th, I believe. But before we do that, just as a friendly reminder, we do record the show live every week, except for this one specific episode at twitch.tv/pastcontroller. But we also do put the live show, including this episode, up on YouTube later. You can just search Past Controller Podcast on YouTube, and you will find the show. If you are a listener of the show, if you want to take a quick moment to leave us a 5-star review, it's super beneficial to leave us a Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show, leave us a quick review. It's very beneficial in helping us continue to grow the show. But before we get into my review of Yars Rising for episode 437 of the Past Control Podcast, I know you haven't been really playing much new this week, Mike, right? You're just chilling. But I know that Todd and Dom have spent a good amount of time with Astro Bot, the new game. The new one's just called Astro Bot, right? It doesn't have a tagline. Okay.
Yeah. I can't believe you haven't fucking played that. I don't give a fuck how busy you are. I can't believe you haven't fucking dipped your toes into this yet.
I'm gonna play it tomorrow. That's my Sunday morning for me is gonna be if I can get a nice cup of coffee going, get myself a stew going, and I'm gonna play some Astro Bot.
So Liam. So last night, I played till 2:30 in the morning last night, from 12 to 2:30, because I knew Liam was going to want to play it, but I don't want him playing any further than what I get. So he played for 2 hours today. He caught up to me. So now I got to fucking play a bunch more tonight so he can play more tomorrow. And it's just going back and forth.
Yeah. Where are you both at with... Have you both played all of the previous Astro Bot stuff? Rescue Mission and then Toy Box or Playroom? Whatever the
VR Playroom.
You haven't played either of them, Dom?
I haven't played either one of them.
Whoa,
oh, really?
Playroom is really good. I mean, when you're done with this and you need a fix for more, I like Rescue Mission as well. Can you play Rescue Mission without VR? Is that a thing you can do? I have no idea.
I don't think you can.
I really liked Rescue Mission. I thought it did some fun stuff in VR. I actually Jen played a portion of it too because I was like, this is amazing. This is so much fun.
It's one of the better PSVR games when they
100%. Yeah.
That and Firewall.
It was a really fun game to play. Essentially, I can't speak to the new Astro Bot because I haven't played it yet, but I'm just going to assume it's similar. But the way I was like describing it back then, when I was trying to convince people that they should fucking play Rescue Mission, because I thought that platforming was also very top notch. I was like, this is essentially the closest you get to like a Mario game that is not, that's on PlayStation or whatever. And the VR aspect of it, for the most part, I don't remember everything. You could you're the Lakitu in the sky, like you're the camera, so like you could like move around and like get better angles in the platforming, and it was a really fun way to interact in that space. I really enjoyed it, but
you're gonna have a smile on your face the entire game.
Oh, I can't wait! I
cannot
wait.
I don't think you understand. Like, I'm gonna just say right now, it's my game of the year, and I said this earlier. I don't think anything will come close to this year, because this year's kind of been like Final Fantasy VII. Fine, no, definitely wouldn't be my game of the year. But this game is like, this is the game that other games are gonna have to beat for my game of the year.
Interesting.
I
I fully expect to really enjoy it. The game of the year thing is interesting for me, at least my personal, just knowing that like how much I love some of my top games for the year so far, like Balatro, and things that I'm looking forward to, like Zelda and Mario and Luigi Brothership and Metaphor ReFantazio. Like, there are still games coming out this year that I'm like, these all have potential to be really, big games for me personally. So I'm excited to have just another amazing game. But you two have both played it, so if you want to talk a little bit more just about what you've played so far and what your thoughts are at currently.
Yeah, like like I said earlier, like it definitely feels, it has that feel of like
you actually feel like you're Astro Bot.
Yeah. What? we always say like we're looking for like that next like good like 3D platformer, like something to like bring it back to like, I don't know, like the N64 days of like, all right, like it's 3D platformer after 3D platformer that are all like solid games, you know what I mean?
100%.
I feel like we get a lot of those now that are just like, all right, I can see that they're trying, but like they're just not getting it.
Yeah.
And this one, like, it's obvious that like this
nails it. It nails it.
Has it. Yeah, this has it.
Yeah.
I would love if we are getting inched towards a future where obviously Nintendo has Mario, Sony now has Astro Bot. Listen,
Banjo?
Microsoft, just bring Banjo back. Put him in the spotlight. Don't say that in front of Dom. He'll fucking drive to your house right now. But it would be cool if we like kind of got like, back in the day, it was like mascot platformers were like the mascots for the fucking console. And I don't expect that to really happen Mario's going to be Mario. He is Mario. But I don't know if Astro Bot will hit that sort of level. Banjo, maybe. But it would be cool if we got this like, hey, they're just really great platformers that everyone can play.
I don't know if Astro Bot wins Game of the Year, then like
that would be huge. That would be a different. Yeah. And it is interesting because they do the whole like they play around with Sony cameos and references and stuff. So like it is like it's like a Sony celebration. So that's it's good. For
I feel like I could be wrong, but like I feel like there's 3 platformers that stand out to me over the last like 10 years. And like Odyssey's not in there. I know we talked about.
You're crazy. Odyssey is so good.
No, it's not for me.
You like Sunshine
3D,
though, but okay.
No, 3D World, fucking Psychonauts 2, and Astro Bot. Those 3, man. Those fucking every time when I played Psychonauts 2, the whole time I was like, this is fucking amazing. I had a smile on my face. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Psychonauts 2 Psychonauts 2 is a masterpiece. I don't think like. It's doing so much more than what I like want from a platformer, so that's why it's like not. I'm not putting it on the pedestal here with Mario and Astro Bot in that conversation, just because like there's so much in that game outside of the platforming that like it's never gonna be that thing for them. Whereas like a Banjo could be, or whatever they wanted to do.
Give me more Psycho.
Psychonauts is great. I don't know if we're ever getting a Psychonauts 3, but I love Psychonauts.
I doubt it.
But yeah, I mean, is that all you guys get to say about that for now?
Yeah, it's like
I recommend it to. This is one of those games where I feel like anyone would enjoy it. Like I don't feel like.
Yep.
I don't know that they're like it's not a sports game, so like if you're a fan of sports games, like don't play it. But like I don't feel like there's like a specific group that it like pushes away at all. Like it feels like a game for everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what the best thing about this is like this is like one of the few times where like the DualSense controller is like you're like, whoa, this is like what it's meant for. This is exactly like this, because you don't get many of those games. You know, like you'll get like some here and there, you'll get some features, but like this game is like the whole time like I'm just like smiling, looking down at my controller. You know, like it's like you're hearing all these noises and like weird vibrations coming from your control. It's great. It's like I said, this is gonna be. I find it very hard that any game's gonna replace this.
It's wild.
And Balatto's been my game up until this.
I'm looking forward to playing. I can't wait. Like I'm super excited. Mike, are you swayed at all? Is Astro Bot gonna be your Sunday, or you don't give a fuck about robots?
It's a casual game too. It's like a casual game, and like you'll enjoy it if you like kind of want to dig into like some old school like PlayStation memorabilia stuff and plenty of stuff to unlock. And
that's one of the things that keeps me going. Is like, all right, what's the next 100%. Like? There's like 3 PlayStation ones in the next level. Like I gotta see where they are.
Exactly. And then you start unlocking like the machines that like drop the balls, like in like the other Astro Bot games, and like you start getting all those collectibles. And I'm like, I'm definitely platinuming this game. There's no doubt in my mind. This will probably be my first platinum on PlayStation.
Mike?
And
platinum again.
No, Spider-Man 2 is the closest I think I've come. But also, when you beat a level, if you're having an issue and you don't want to go crazy, you can get a bird that literally tells you like where stuff is, the closer you get to it. So like, it's good for like casuals. It's good for like it's definitely deserving of the rating right now. I'm
excited. Mike, are you swayed?
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'll probably play it.
Mike's a big Astro Bot, big Astro Bot guy. That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm excited to play. But that'll bring us to my review of Yars Rising, which is a sequel of sorts to Yars Revenge, which is like a 1980, a 1982 Atari 2600 game, which. Yars Rising is a Metroidvania. It is not what Yars Revenge was. It's like the concept of them like, hey, we're gonna take this thing and
Yars is a franchise, correct? There's more than just the 2 of those games.
There are other things, but I'm not super familiar with anything else. A lot of the stuff in between is like, more like Yars Revenge, I believe. But I'm not like. I played Yars Revenge at some point in my life, like on a collection or something.
A couple of years ago, there was like another Yars game. Yars, I don't remember what it was called though.
I know what it's called. It's called Yars and
Recharged.
Okay. Is it like Yars Revenge or
it's a twin stick shooter? So okay. I imagine it's
So, like off the jump, I do like the idea of like, hey, we want to build more in that world and use that lore and stuff like that, but make something, arguably wildly different, which is a Metroidvania. And I think the game does a lot of really interesting things, a lot of cool things. Not all of it landed for me, but I do think that there's like some interesting stuff worth checking out. And I did enjoy my overall time with it, but like the music, fantastic. They use it's developed by WayForward, so the folks who did things like Shantae and River City Girls. If you've played River City Girls, I think they use a lot of similar musicians for the music for Yars Rising. So like, I love the soundtrack to River City Girls 1 and 2. So the whole time pretty much playing this game, I was like, my head was bopping. I'm like, this music is so good. It's always just fantastic. So the music's great. The art style is like kind of what you'd expect from the studio in terms of just what it is. It's not bad. It's not whatever, but some of the stuff outside of the gameplay that they do, I really enjoyed. Like the cutscenes in the game are like comic book style, so it's like panels popping up and they're slightly animated and there's word bubbles popping up, and I like a lot of that animation and a lot of the art there. It's really nice. And then just like little things with Emmy, the main character and stuff, like when they're popping up for dialogue and stuff. Like I like some of the character designs and stuff. I think there's some interesting stuff there. Some really cool things that they're doing with some of that stuff. And then the gameplay, there's a lot that I like and there's a lot that I did not like. So Metroidvania, so you're talking about platformer, you have some abilities and weapons that you get throughout the course of the game. As you continue to progress, you'll get more things for traversal and combat. It's kind of, I don't want to say it doesn't feel stiff, but it looks stiff, if that makes sense. Like if you watch gameplay of it, I feel like it looks stiffer than it actually plays. And I think that's a little bit more maybe on the animation of the characters moving and stuff. But it's never really anything too like groundbreaking for a Metroidvania as far as like the traversal and movement. Like I was never like, oh, this is like a top tier Metroidvania. Not that it needed to be, but it's just that's kind of where I was at the whole time. Like it wasn't anything. It was just a average for the most part in those sections of the game. There's different elements that are stealth related that I really did not enjoy. I kind of don't know why they were there. Like there would just be enemies that walk back and forth, and you have to wait for their patterns and then go around them and hide in the wall, and then like it was so like it didn't feel like there was a puzzle that I had to solve to get around. Like it just seemed like a wasted time piece of those parts of the levels, and I really did not enjoy it. And if I accidentally missed the wall or something and didn't pull in, and they attack you, those enemies push you back to the beginning of that section. So it's not even like you can fight them or engage with them. It's like
keep on happening recently.
I don't.
So we're going backwards.
It was such a weird thing to be in the game because I just don't think it worked. Like I think thematically with the story they're telling, where Emmy is a hacker, and like the overall plot of the game is you work for this company that I forget the name of, like Quotic or something. Let me see if I have it in my notes here. But you're a hacker, so you're like trying to hack in there, and you're trying to take them down for XYZ reason that I won't spoil the story that's there. So part of the game you are hacking terminals. So I guess I kind of understand like the sneaking around thing kind of fits that thematically. It just didn't really fit the gameplay. It wasn't interesting. I didn't enjoy those sections of the game. I was annoyed when they popped up. I was like, these don't need to be here. With the hacking though, I liked how it was implemented, and I liked how so essentially you'd hack a terminal, you'd find a terminal. Some of them were like mandatory to progress the game. Some of them were optional to get more upgrades. Anytime you hacked into a terminal, you would play a version of Yars Rising. Like you would be playing that game to hack the terminal, or like some variation of that. And I did really enjoy doing that. I think it was a clever use of like the original game. I think it was a fun way to bring it forward. And I thought it was just a unique way to do hacking a terminal, because there's, tons of ways that games have done that in the past and currently. And I thought it was just a unique way for them to do it that made sense. And I did enjoy it a lot. It was fun. It had me seeking out additional terminals that I know I didn't need, because I was like, oh, like I like the clever little mix-ups that you get, between different terminals, because they're not the same. They're always different variations of stuff, with some of them having, some of them, have centipede as it's just, there's other things going on, and I did enjoy that aspect of it. I said centipede, so I'll just say there are like a lot of references to other Atari things. So if you do have knowledge of that stuff or history with those games, there's little things there, like there's certain character names, other references, and I think that it not having that knowledge would not hurt your ability to enjoy this game today. But if you knew the reference or you got it, I think it was something you just like, you get a little crack in the corner of your mouth, like, oh yeah, I'm smiling at that. That's funny. The game is fully voice acted too, and for the most part, even when the writing is not always great or funny, the voice acting's phenomenal. Like the actress that plays Emmy injects so much more life into the game the game doesn't have otherwise. Like the voice acting kills this game. They do a great job of pushing you through the game. It's pretty enjoyable. They're really, really good. They nailed it. If I had to drop a number on it, I would say this probably falls a low 7. It's probably a 7 for me. It's not doing anything remarkable. It's not doing anything too egregiously annoying or aggravating or not well.
Is it Axiom Verge like at all? Is it like you ever played Axiom Verge?
That's on my backlog. I have not played. It's like it is a
Axiom Verge is like basically Metroid. Like it's like
like it is definitely a Metroid like game. I mean, it is a Metroidvania. It's not doing anything too remarkable for that genre. I mean, we've gotten a lot of remarkable games in that space over the last probably 5 to 10 years. Things like Hollow Knight, things like
I refuse to play anything
the Messenger.
like Hollow Knight.
Yeah, like it's there's a lot of great things happening in the space. I don't know if Yars Rising brings anything super remarkable to it like that. I don't think it's trying to either. I think it's just trying to do the thing that it's doing. I think my biggest issues with the game that were frustrating at points for me were the game overall, I think, is kind of slow. Like, it's just a slow moving game, not like pacing with story or anything like that. It's a slow game, and I kind of wished it was a little bit quicker. And then the stealth stuff is not great. It doesn't help that slow pace at all. So those are my two like bigger things. And the game can be quite challenging at moments. Some of the boss fights, so I guess that's another sort of negative for me. Some of the enemy variety is like you get to a point where it's like, all right, I've seen the variety of enemies and they're nothing.
Bugs.
Not at first, but at some point they are. But
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah. So there's not a ton of enemy variety, but the boss fights are fun and all unique. They're all different from each other, and I did enjoy figuring out those patterns and the best ways to defeat them and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff there. There's some interesting abilities that you get that allow you to jump higher and stuff like that. But it's really like I like the character design. I like the character's voice actress. I like the character. I would like to see them do more with old Atari stuff, and maybe this is their way of like starting that here. And it's like we're gonna build out more Atari games that maybe don't make sense for us to make a new version of them the way they were then, but we'll play around with those characters and ideas. And I think the hacking stuff was cool. I think it fit the game. I think it fit the world. It was an interesting way to bring the original Yars forward in a fun way. So those are kind of my takeaways. I think I'd land on a 7 for this. Yars Rising I had a good time with it. So that's where I'm at. I don't know if any of you have any interest in checking it out at any point or not, but it'll be out this week. It'll be out on Tuesday, I believe. It'll be out by the time you can hear this, I believe. We'll put this up the day it comes out. So if you're listening to this now, the game should already be available. I believe it's coming to everything. Let me double check. I played it on Xbox, had no issues. It ran fine. It's coming to Steam, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, Epic Games, and honestly, I forgot the Atari thing was the Atari VCS. Is that still a thing you can play and use? This game is coming to that, apparently.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot the Atari VCS was a thing. But that's Yars Rising. I enjoyed my time with it. Nothing game changing. Nothing, too horrible that I'm like, So if that sounded like something of interest to you, you should check it out this week. But I think that'll do it for this week's little extra episode here, talking about Yars Rising, Astro Bot. We're going to skip the game because we are keeping it tight tonight, so the leaderboard will remain unchanged from this episode. But we appreciate you hanging out, listening to episode 437 of the Pest Control Podcast. Like I said at the top of the show, if you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, you want to help support the show, you can easily do that by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to the show. If you want to catch us live, you can go to twitch.tv/PastController and watch us live there. If you want to see everything under the sun that we do, you can go to www.passthecontroller.io, and you'll be able to see everything we do, whether it's written reviews, other videos, podcast stuff, drink recipes, all that stuff you can find easily over there. But for myself, Mike, Dom, and Todd, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.